All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to College Volleyball Weekly. You're watching the Viral Volley Media Podcast. And I've got a very special group of ladies here from number one, LSU, the Sandy Tigers. We've got Kristen Nuss, Taryn, Kloth, and we've got Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope here with me this morning just to talk about the season and some other stuff as well, especially in this time where we are seeing unprecedented events happen around us. So, ladies, thank you for taking time today with College Volleyball Weekly.
Yeah.
Glad to have us.
Hey, first question for all of you. Your LSU team had a great 2020 season, as short as it was. Individually, you guys had great results, and also as a team. What are the keys to LSU's success this year?
I think it was just kind of our coming into the season, like we knew this was our year, like we had really high expectations, and I think the entire team got on board with that. And I think it was just a collective team effort going into the season. Like we knew what our goals were, and we knew we wanted to achieve them. We knew we had to really work hard for them. And yeah, it was just that team effort and everyone being on board.
I think we did a really good job of like holding each other accountable and like staying focused on like what our goals were throughout the fall and throughout preseason and throughout our short season.
I definitely think competing against our team every single day in practice made us really, it was a special team. We had so many people. We were so deep in our lineup that anybody that we played on any given day in practice was going to make us better.
Now, individually, what did each of you do to prepare for this upcoming season? Because there's a definite, an obvious increased level of play between everyone on the team as well as each of the pairs that were out on the court.
I think for me personally, it was about honestly just getting in overall like better shape. So like in the summer, I was like working out a ton, and compared to like freshman year, I had like way more of a like drive and motivation, I guess, that just kind of comes with senior year. You know, it's like coming to an end, so you really have to like give everything you have to accomplish the goals you want. So especially like individually coming in, it was just about getting in like beach volleyball condition shape. I think that would be like the thing that could have helped me the most. So yeah, that's what I worked on.
I think for me, like when you come in your freshman year, it's just all about like all around getting better and getting like situated with like college volleyball. And I think as you progress through the years, like you kind of work on like technical stuff each year. And then like Kristen said, on like that final year, you just want to like go out with a bang and like be the best version of yourself.
This summer focused a lot on nutrition. I took a lot of advice and guidance and did a lot of research on what I should be fueling my body with. And I honestly really wish I would have started that freshman, sophomore, junior year, because it makes such a big difference. And I know all of our dietitians and everybody comes in to talk to us about how important it is, but it really does change how you can play the game and how you're able to recover. And honestly, this summer I played a lot of indoor volleyball, but I think that it was really helpful to go from indoor to beach back to indoor to kind of get comfortable with some of those skills. And then I got so many passing reps because in indoor it's just easier. So I think that was very helpful for me.
Now, it looked like, at least from what I can gather from the streams and the chatter that was going on around the boards, that your team was just has a solid group of leaders all around. Almost like it was truly a team effort. There wasn't one leader that was held up above the rest. Like you definitely were unified. Can you chat a little bit about that atmosphere that's been created over at LSU?
Taryn, do you want to say
that? I was just going to talk about how this senior class, I mean, we did have some 6th years, some 5th years, and obviously the seniors, but everybody had a different role as a leader. But I think it worked so well because we understood that we didn't need to have so much power. I think spreading the power to everybody and knowing that everybody had a voice even in like the juniors and sophomores and freshmen, we wanted to hear everybody's input. So we would have probably it turned into like a monthly meeting to just get what everybody on the team was thinking and kind of more understand what we could do better as leaders and as a team, and just how we can get better together.
Nice. Now, for each of you, what do you feel were some of the key moments of the abbreviated 2020 season?
I think that very first weekend in Hawaii was obviously the first weekend is pretty crucial to how the rest of your season will go. It kind of like sets the foundation. But that first weekend, I said we had high expectations, and coming in that first day and losing against UCLA in Hawaii, we were kind of like, whoa, like this is not going to be like a walk in the park. Like everyone is coming to win, and like we need to go show it. And I think that really kind of was like a key point in the season, even though it was the very first tournament. Like coming back that Sunday and beating those teams that had just beaten us, like that was pretty big, and it kind of like showed that we were ready. So I think that first weekend was pretty big for us.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Kristen. I think after the first day, it kind of like put it in perspective that we were going to have to like work for it. And then coming out the next day and like watching everyone just like turn on another switch to like reach another level and just like come out and just dominate. It was really cool to know that like we had that in us and like we were ready for the season to like fight for it.
Now, speaking of that first weekend, though, obviously, Kristen already mentioned that those are your only two losses were to Hawaii and to UCLA. But behind the scenes, what was going on with the team that said, we can get out of this? We are better than this right off the bat. Because that's a pretty strong rebound or a response the rest of the way.
We just knew, again, like the confidence we all had in each other as a team. I think that really showed, and we knew every single day in practice, like we're training against the best people in the country. So knowing that we're capable of that I really think it just speaks volumes to like the depth of our team and how prepared we were for the season. Like, yeah, we did kind of get like hit in the face, but we were able to bounce back.
I think Saturday, like when we were all at dinner, we kind of had that like feeling of like, this sucks. Like we don't want to feel like this the rest of the season. And I think that also like helped motivate us to like, we have to like fight for like, we don't want to have that feeling throughout the season.
Yeah,
I think you're about to say something, Taryn.
Yeah, I was. I totally agree. I think it was dinner. We were all just sitting there. We were exhausted. We were frustrated. We were confused because we went into the weekend very, very confident that we had what it takes to be the best, one of the best teams in the beach volleyball world. And then we got slapped with some truth. Like everybody is coming to be a national championship, a national champion. Everybody wants that so much, and we have to want it more than them. Otherwise, we're not going to win. And sitting at dinner, we were all talking about it. And I think the next morning we all woke up and we just knew that we were not going to lose. And it was just in our head, and nobody was changing our minds, and we knew we could do it, and we just had to show everybody else that we could.
Well, back to the original question, but were there obviously Hawaii was a key moment for each of you, but were there any other key moments up until the end here?
I think the UCLA home game, I will forever remember that one. That was definitely pretty big to have UCLA 1 come down to Baton Rouge, which has never happened, and to have that amount of fans come and support us, and just to be able to show what we're capable of to all those people. I think we definitely like grew the sport of beach volleyball in Louisiana on that night. So it not only helped us secure the #1 spot in the country, but also helped like us secure LSU beach volleyball fans for the coming years. So that was key moment for our season this year, but also key moment for years to come for LSU volleyball.
I think it also just kind of solidified what we would have been able to do if the season had like continued. I think it was like, wow, we can really do this. Like if we keep working hard and like keep our minds where they're at, like our goal at the end of the year like is going to be achieved.
Anything to add there?
I was thinking about the UCLA night. It was incredible. There are no words. You almost had to be there. I feel like the pictures, the videos, yes, they were amazing. They were very well done, but to be in that atmosphere with everybody surrounding our entire, it was incredible. And yeah, I really wish everybody could have experienced that.
I'll definitely never forget that feeling of walking out on the middle of the court and looking both ways and just seeing people packed together. That one will last. We'll be there for a while.
Well, watching the feed, I kind of was bouncing between each of the streams because it was all being streamed. Every court was being streamed on YouTube, but it just seemed like your team was next level performance and motivation wise because the energy was fantastic and it was off the charts. And you could see that you guys had a mission that night. What was it that gave you that extra push that night? Because you all were performing extremely well and the energy was high.
I think a lot of our team likes to take that as a challenge to perform well when the stakes are really high and to have our home court advantage with all of our fans. I think that made it a lot easier just because we knew that we were going to have so many people supporting us. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be that many people, but having people behind us, and we just wanted to protect our own home. We didn't want somebody to come in and beat us at home. I think that's a different type of feeling, and I think it raised our level of play.
I think it's really hard to not feed off of the 24 plus fans that were there. I mean, 24,000 plus fans that were there. And again, even like coming in, I kept saying, I was like, I think there's going to be like a lot of people there. But yeah, like
a debate all week, like, oh, would there really be a ton of people, or like, is it going to be like 100? And like when we walked out and saw that, like, our jaws dropped.
It far exceeded my expectations for sure. But I think just feeding off of them, it was hard not to be able to feed off of all those people.
I was in awe of your guys' facility too, and how full it was, and seeing the bleachers on top of the building and the grassy knoll filled with people, and the teams, like when it came down to the final duels and getting points, seeing your teammates line up on the sidelines, and obviously just getting into it. It was such a great atmosphere, and it's so good for collegiate beach volleyball. So hats off to the LSU program putting that play your stadium. What are you guys calling it now? Death Volley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of scares us away a little bit, but it's a great place to be. Now, I didn't send this question to you guys in the meeting, but I've got to ask because this year, more than any other year since the initiation of collegiate beach volleyball, it just seemed like the competition for a national championship had been the tightest it's ever been before. Obviously, with the Tigers finishing number one ranked in the polls, but there was some solid play, from like Florida State, FIU, Stetson, and then you go west, you have the traditional powerhouses. Can each of you comment on the kind of play we're beginning to see in collegiate beach volleyball?
It's really exciting. Like I definitely will say it's just awesome to see and kind of like be a part of. That's like kind of the big thing I missed about like season because we didn't get to play all those teams. Like we didn't get to see how we compared to all the other teams. But it really is just because I've been following beach volleyball for a while now, and it really has been always like West Coast is like the powerhouses of the beach volleyball world. But the East this year, it was awesome to be a part of. And I know it'll just keep going from here. Like I don't foresee there ever being another like powerhouse. I think the level of play is just going to be kind of like evened out across everyone. Yeah, it's really exciting to see that.
I think like as the East like through the years has just rose and like ranking and stuff, I think like that motivation was created by like the East Coast teams like, hey, we're like right there, like we like what is stopping us from being where UCLA, USC, and Pepperdine have all been. And I think like with the sport just growing overall, more and more girls are like seeing opportunity, like, hey, I don't have to go to West Coast schools to play on a number one team. So like Kristen said, it's just really exciting to like see the sport grow overall and just that motivation to continue.
Anything to add there, Taryn?
I mean, I'm pretty fresh to the beach volleyball world. So I don't know what it's like other than the 1 or 2 years that I've had an experience, just knowing that the West Coast schools, that's where they're very well known for beach volleyball. But I do love that the East Coast schools they're contending for that title now.
Excellent. Hey, just this last week, your coach, Russell Brock, posted on his social media a season recap, and it was a powerfully honest statement of the 2020 season. Can each of you share some of your thoughts on his post and the whatever it takes motto that you took on as a team?
I think it was just in typical Russell fashion to be like the great leader that he is and really kind of like sum up our season in a great way. He is, I really can't, like, the leader and like what he's done for our program, like I don't even know how to like put into words. But I honestly struggle to find words because I really like, it was just awesome. Like I really enjoyed reading it, and yeah.
I think it was hard to like read it and like the reality of it. But then I also think it was kind of like Russell is like, this has like been his goal, creating this program. And so for him to like post about like the truth or whatever, and then like for us to get to this year finally, and it for the way it like ended, I think it was just like we like felt for Russell that like his hard work had been leading up to this, and like not to come up short, but to not be given that chance. It's hard.
I thought it was a perfect saying for our team this year. I mean, whatever it takes. It's true. It's hard sometimes. It got us through some of the tough times. Like when we were conditioning, when we were lifting at 6 a.m. and we did not want to get up, just saying to each other, whatever it takes, we're going to do whatever it takes. We want this national championship. I do honestly think that it should be the saying for the LSU Beach Volleyball program from now on. I think it really was helpful. It's a perfect statement for our program and our coaches and our team and just what we can do. And I agree with Kristen when reading that message at the end, it was perfectly summed up as hard as it was to read.
So good. Now, each of you has a memorable duel or match against an opponent. Can each of you share which one sticks out most in your minds, in your particular pairings?
Okay, so for me, it was definitely it was probably the second day in Hawaii for me. First going to 3 again and then beating Hawaii, and then it coming down to our court against UCLA. That's like, I think the first time that I've ever really had just complete confidence take over in a game, and like knowing that they'd said that like no matter what happens that we are going to come out on top. It was just the coolest feeling to be able to like do that for the first time in program history, and then like have your teammates like cheering you on the side. Like it was the coolest feeling, and it's like something I'll never forget.
Well, anyone else? You're still thinking, it looks like.
I would say mine is probably UCLA at home. I don't know why I like playing at night. I just think it was that, plus my partner Kelly was unbelievable this entire season. I mean, every single time that I would turn around from a block, I know that the ball was going to be up in the air and I was going to have to run after it and set her, and she's going to put the ball away. And it was just, I had a great time playing with her. And then just looking out the atmosphere, the crowd, it was unmatched.
I think for me, definitely UCLA is probably that UCLA at home game was probably number one. But I also will forever remember when Claire and I got the 100th win against Arizona at TCU. And I kind of like before the game, I had known because people were telling me and stuff. And like once we got in the game, I had like totally forgot. So Claire and I finished the game, and then all of a sudden we looked out and like all our teammates and parents were like holding up signs, and I was like, oh my goodness, wait, I didn't even know. And that was just pretty cool to experience with everyone. And obviously Claire, I've loved playing with her all 4 years, and maybe there's more.
Rob Estro for College Volleyball Weekly back again. Special edition we have an LSU edition going on. Got Taryn, Kloth, Kristen Nuss, and Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope joining me here today. And they've decided to take a shot of not the ABCA All-Americans, but the Sandy Tiger All-Americans. Yeah, they can pick themselves, but I'm hoping they'll pick a few other people out there in the nation who did well this year. So let's see who looks like they got one ready to bust out. You know what? I'm going to go with the youth on the screen right now. Ashlyn, looks like you have a pick ready for a LSU All-American.
I know we're not supposed to like pick ourselves, but I don't know how you don't give it to the two on the screen and their partners.
There's two right away. Well, let's name them. Just pretend like you don't know them and name them for our listeners and viewers.
Okay. Taryn, Kelly Agnew, Kristen Nuss, and Claire Coppola.
And they are from LSU. That's okay. There's two pairs. Let's see if we can come up with six more. Anyone else?
Taryn?
You got. Well, I'm going to say the UCLA's ones pair. I got to watch them play 3 times this season, and they were absolutely unbelievable. Hello?
We're good. I think you're referring to Abby Van Winkle and Savvy Simo.
Yes, I am. They're incredible. They're dynamic. They play so well together. Savvy's very offensive, and I mean, you want to try to keep the ball away from her as much as possible, but she makes that very difficult. And then I also agree with Kristen and Claire. Playing them every single day in practice is one of the most frustrating things ever. But I do know that it makes us so much better, and they really do improve their games by playing so well. And Kristen, after every single play, even if she wins the point, if she didn't do something perfect or exactly how she wanted to, she's going to be not upset with herself, but she's going to hold herself to the highest standard possible. And same with Claire. Claire does a great job of giving feedback to everybody, and she also holds herself to a very high standard and wants to side out at nearly 100%.
All right, Kristen, you're up.
So the next pair, I will say it was really hard to kind of pick this because it was such a short season, so we really didn't get to like see everyone or play against everyone. But a team that we did play against and that did beat us, I got to give it to Martin and Napoleon from Hawaii. They were just really good and very consistent in what they do. They really have a good dynamic to their team, and it was really fun getting to compete against them twice this year.
Anyone else that you can come up with as far as a LSU All-American team that you've seen at Florida State? Maybe they're your arch rivals. I don't know. Is that why you're avoiding them?
I would give it to Molly McBain and Elena Chacon. I definitely think I haven't played specifically against the two of them together, but I've played against both of them with different partners, and they are two probably like the most consistent players I've like played against. Like they're not going to give you any points. Like you have to earn every single point. So I definitely give it to them. And again, unfortunately, I didn't get to play against them. So wish we could have, but I definitely would give it to them.
Anyone else on the in the hopper of Ashlyn or Taryn there that comes to mind?
I can kind of just talk through we kind of discussed our All-Americans, so I'll do it for us and I'll give you the rest of them. So
all right, sounds good.
Also, Biancan and Frosco from FIU. Claire and I have had plenty of games against them, and they've all been like really tight, and they're really just a fun team to play against. And then we gave it to Hayden Caffrey and Liz Waters-Lega from FSU too. Their fours team. They speaking with Taryn, because Taryn and Kelly, we also gave them the All-Americans, and those are the two fours teams that we put on here. And I know it's kind of like rare that a fours team is like on All-American, but like both of them were just so dominant at their position. So they definitely had to be put on there. And then I think the last one that we have, I think we're at 7 right now. I think the last one we gave to Grand Canyon in Bella Ballman and Tegan DeFalco. I think they had a really solid year. Again, didn't really get to see them, but just in the results that we kind of looked at, that's the team we went with.
Great choices. Any honorable mentions? Individuals, we won't go with 6, just any names that come to mind, so we can just drop them here on our broadcast.
Do y'all want me to do it? Do y'all want me to take it away? Yeah? Okay.
Oh, you're the leader, huh?
Do y'all want to say any of them? Taryn?
I'll say one. Julia Schools. Oh.
Where is she from?
Hawaii. Sorry, are you talking to me?
Okay, there we go.
I glitched up for a little bit. Julia Scholes from Hawaii. We knew each other from indoor volleyball training with USA, and her transitioning over to beach after she had a tough year. I think she was injured or something. And then she transitioned to beach beautifully. She's doing an amazing job. She's an absolute powerhouse up there. She blocks everything. No one wants to serve her. She is a fantastic player, but I would say that she is a great person as well.
All right.
So I'll finish it off with the others. We kind of went a lot of West Coast here. So we got Lexi Denenberg, Haley Harward, Sammy Slater, Tia Myrick, and then couldn't really pick one from the Cals ones team. So Mia and Ia put both on honorable mention.
Mima and Ia, gotta love that Cal Golden Bear pair.
Yep.
Well, those are great choices, and I'm gonna put a surprise question on you guys, but it's because I didn't think about it until just now. But any new faces that you feel can impact the collegiate beach game, because there is a lot of new talent that are playing up right now in the top 4 or 5. They're actually playing in the 5s now. So any names come to mind as far as future talent that are going to make an impact?
I think obviously a lot of UCLA's team and a lot of USC's team has younger girls who are very good, and I think as they grow and continue in the game and learn the college game, that they'll definitely be able to make an impact.
I think LSU's got a secret because you're not naming any of the talent coming in, so I'm kind of worried. That's a good play, though. I like that. Anyone else come to mind?
I'll give a little shout out to our freshman, Sydney. She's going to be a really, really good player, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store for her.
All right.
I'd probably give it to our whole freshman class. Sorry. I know a lot of I made their college debut or anything, but they have been working really hard, and when they finally get their chance to play in the sand, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Great call.
Just you wait. They're going to be amazing.
Excellent. Let's take a break right there. We're going to lighten up the mood a little bit and then get the inside look at our 3 athletes on the screen. Kristen Nuss, got Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope, and Taryn Kloth from LSU. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm here with College Volleyball Weekly. I'm here with LSU's Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss, and Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope. We're going to have a little fun here. We have this thing called the rundown. The rundown will be 10 questions thrown their way. They've got to answer quickly, get back up, and be ready to answer your next question. So we're going to hopefully get some insight to what goes on inside the heads of these Sandy Tigers on screen. All right, ladies, ready to go? Here's our order for all of us watching and listening. It's going to go to Taryn, to Kristen, to Ashlyn. And then we're going to rotate around. All right, question number 1. What's your go-to song to get you fired up before a match or a duel?
Uproar.
Kristen.
Oh, I go too. Grove Street Party.
Ashlyn.
I don't know. I'm not a big music person.
All right, she dropped the ball on that one. Let's go to our next one. Favorite movie, Taryn.
Blindside.
Kristen.
Titanic.
Which one?
The Titanic.
The Titanic?
Movie that came back. It was the first movie.
Let's revisit that. Ashlyn, your favorite movie?
I like the Avengers movies.
Okay. Next question. My arch nemesis in beach volleyball is fill in the blank. Taryn.
Kristen, she digs everything.
I gotta give it to Savvy from this year. That was a battle playing against her.
Ashlyn.
Oh, definitely UCLA's threes. They're always fun to play, and it's always just a great game.
Okay.
I picked my own.
It's all right. Maybe Kristen doesn't know you really don't like her. All right. All right. Next one. Most embarrassing nickname that you have. Taryn.
I don't. Everybody calls me T-Mom. Not embarrassing. I embrace it.
T-Mom?
T-Mom.
T-Mom. All right. Kristen.
I mean, I don't know if Nuster is an embarrassing name, but that's what I get called, so.
We'll go with it. Ashlyn.
Probably ARP, but then it's kind of stretched out to AARP instead of ARP.
Like you're already in retirement as a sophomore. All right, next one.
That was me.
Most influential role model.
Jordan Larson.
All right.
Taryn, Kristen, and Tony.
Oh wow, buying points there. Look at that. Favorite book.
Oh.
Taryn. Maybe she doesn't read. She's a graduate student. I don't know.
Here I will say.
Read, but I don't have a favorite book.
All right, no favorite book there. What's that?
Yeah,
No, pass. Okay, Kristen.
I'm not a big reader either. I really don't have an answer.
Okay, she's a pass too. All right, Ashlyn.
I don't like the dictionary or something.
How often do you read the dictionary, Ash?
We have a pass, and a dictionary. All right. Next question. Do you have any weird, unique, or funny pre-duel rituals? And what are they? Taryn.
No.
That's an answer.
Handshakes with everyone. Not weird, but
What do you do?
handshakes with everyone.
All right.
One of Tony's nicknames is Big Toe. So before every game, Tony and I like do a big toe high five with our big toes.
All right, easy one. Favorite kind of food? Taryn.
Peanut butter.
Breakfast.
Kristen.
All sorts of breakfast.
I
Ashlyn.
like hibachi food.
Hibachi food. All right. If you had $1 million, I would fill in the blank. Taryn.
Ooh, I would invest it, and then I would want to be a philanthropist.
All right. Kristen.
I think I'm gonna go the typical answer, and I'd buy a car. Probably a Tesla.
I
Ashlyn.
shopping and buy a lot of shoes.
All right. And here's the one to end on. If I had an extra roll of toilet paper, I would give it to.
Hi, Mom.
It's the times. Your mom?
I'd give it to Ashlyn because I'm living with her right now.
And Ashlyn.
I'd be selfish and give it to myself.
All right, ladies. Hey, everyone. We've got Taryn, Kloth, Kristen Nuss, and Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope of LSU taking the time today to be on College Volleyball Weekly. Ladies, thank you for your time today and for sharing just an insight to who the Sand Tigers are. Looking forward to catching you down the line if that's your path, assuming that you'll be back. And if not, I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.